What's good, YouTube? It's TBD. I keep getting asked, TBD, what settings are you running for your audio, for your controller, for graphics, literally for Call of Duty? The amount of people that have asked me is crazy. Now, I'm not the world's best Call of Duty player. That's fact. There are a lot better players than me. But I keep getting asked while I'm playing, even randoms, dude, what's your sensitivity set to, this, that, and that. So I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of my settings, what I believe are the best settings for console, because I'm a console player. And yeah, hopefully you like it, or hopefully it helps you change your game so you become better than what you already are. If you're not that good, it's all right not being good, because there's always room for improvement. But yeah, let's get into the video. Before we get directly into the settings video, a quick shout out to our friends over at Wraith Energy. If you're looking to drop into some games energized and focused, look no further than Wraith Energy. They have you covered. With over 26 different flavors, there's a flavor for everyone, from classic fruity flavors to sweet shot flavors, even a few cocktail flavors. From single serve packets to 40 serving tubs, small boy shakers to tall boy shakers, not forgetting the decent merch. You can use the code TBD10 to get a nice little discount at checkout. If you want to check anything out, the link will be in the description directly below. Right, first things first, we're going to go straight into controller settings. Trying to keep it as easy as possible without going into all the big words that all these big content creators use and stuff, which half of us don't even understand what the fuck they're even on about, to be totally honest. But I use a standard controller. Well, technically, I use a GameSir G7 SE Hall sticks, which to me is the way forward, and it's got 2 rear buttons. Nothing special. I've had Scuff, I've had Battle Beaver, I've had aim controllers. For the price, I'd rather get 4 of these controllers, because these controllers in the UK are only £50, which are a lot better than the Xbox Elite controllers as well. But anyway, that's the controller I use, the GameSir G7 SE. I'll drop the links in the description anyway. But I use standard controller with standard button layout. Bumper ping I have turned off. I don't see the point in having it on, personally. The flip, I have them turned off. Now, I know quite a few people have them turned on, so it's a lot quicker responsive aiming and shooting with your bumpers than it is with your triggers, which is up to you, but these are just what I run. Stick layout, again, default, because I've got back buttons, so I don't really need to change stuff. Vibration I have turned off completely, because literally I think it's Reed Boy is the only one that I actually know that plays console with vibration setting turned on. He is a demon, but vibration for me always throws me off completely, especially when it's going into the tense moments and your controller starts vibrating. This puts me off. Dead zones. Now, here's the thing with dead zones. I'm just going to open it up. So I run a 0 on the left stick, and I run a 0 on the right stick, because obviously I've got Hall effect sticks, so I don't actually get stick drift. So I can run mine down. I would say to the average person, if you have stick drift, just bump it up. Anything above 5, I'd get a new controller, personally. But if you have a slight stick drift, so let's say you put it onto 3, for instance, and you got a slight stick drift, on your left stick, it's fine. Your right stick, not so much. But some people like using controllers with stick drift. There's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes about it, debates about it, this stuff now, so it's all independent. The left stick max I have at 60. So if I go into the test, you can see on the right I go all the way onto the outside of the circle, and on the left stick I don't, just because it gives me a faster response. So if I'm moving forward or pulling back, looking left, looking right, whatever, it acts a lot quicker. And it does actually, because obviously I run Hall effect sticks, I can move it just a little bit and I'm already picking up rotational aim assist as well. So that's the reason why I've run that at 60. The right stick I run at max, obviously. And that's like, there's no need to change that whatsoever, in my opinion. Left trigger and right trigger I run at 0, because on the G7 SE you do have the software where you can convert it into air triggers, but they're full force. Just like, yeah, literally you can pull them all the way down, type of thing. They haven't got like stoppers, so I have mine set to 0. Some people have them set to 2 and 3. That's up to them. Moving on to aiming, I run mine at a 7.7. I did run mine as offset at a 6 and a 7, but I run mine a 7 and a 7. I have the advanced horizontal stick sensitivity locked to a 1.8, but I don't have it activated. It depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm just like messing about, I'll activate it, but you don't need to do that. You can just go 7.7, 6.6. I advise some people to use 6.6. I was watching someone earlier today, and I asked what sensitivity they were running, and they were running, I think they were running 12.12, and they were literally missing every single shot. So I was just like, look, turn your sensitivity down and just try different settings and stuff. And they're like, don't understand this, that, and anything else. So again, another reason for this video. The ADS sensitivity multiplier, I run mine at 0.85. If I drop my stick sensitivity down to 6.6, I'll run that at 0.80. The sensitivity multiplier, again, all ones across the board. I don't see the point in changing them. I've played around with them, haven't really done anything for me, I'm being totally honest. The vertical aim axis, run it all on standard. Tactical stance sensitivity, I run it at 1. Aim response curve type, I run dynamic. The slope, I also take it all the way down to the left, so 0.00. ADS multiplier focus, I have it set as 1. Transitioning timing with ADS sensitivity, instant. Custom sensitivity per zoom, have it turned off. Aim assist, obviously you want target aim assist turned on. If you don't have it turned on, you are a demon, and something's not right in your head to have aim assist turned off. And before people start arguing, well, controller players have too strong of an aim assist compared to mouse and keyboard. The thing is, in my opinion, if you choose to be mouse and keyboard, that's on you. The option is there to play controller. Now, I'm not going to get into the debate of which is better, controller or mouse and keyboard. I think whatever player chooses to use as their input device is totally up to them. There's pros and cons to each input, in my opinion. Aim assist type, I have it set to default. A few people say Black Ops is stronger, it's a lot more stickier. I really don't see the difference, being totally honest. Obviously, some of the bigger creators and the self-proclaimed pros in Warzone can probably elaborate default or Black Ops is better than the other. But that's on them. I've tested all 4 of these, and I find default the best one for me. Aim assist obviously turned on. Again, third person ADS correction type, I have it assist. I don't really like third person, being totally honest. Gameplay, automatic tac sprint, I have mine set to. There was an issue where you couldn't reload or plate up while you're running, so people were swapping it to automatic sprint or turning it off completely. That has been 85% fixed. There's still a few issues with it. Slide maintain sprint, I have mine turned off. Auto move forward, again, turned off. Single tap run is what I've got mine set to. Some people have theirs set to double tap. Me personally, having, as I said earlier, played with Scuff, aim controllers, Battle Beavers, I was going literally through controllers every 3-4 weeks. Obviously being heavy-handed as well doesn't help. By just double tapping, the left and the right stick were giving up. So hence why I moved to Hall Effect 6. But yeah, I have mine set to single tap run. Grounded mantle, have mine turned off. Automatic airborne mantle, again turned off. Automatic ground mantle and hang, turned off. Slide stroke dive behavior, I have mine set to hybrid. I know a lot of people have their set to slide only. I don't really know many that have it set to hybrid. The only difference with hybrid is if I hold my left thumbstick in and go to slide, it will dive. Just in situations like, let's say Rebirth, and you're on top of prison and you want to get over to Grandma's, you can dive and then pull your chute, and obviously you travel a lot quicker and a lot further. That's just me. I'll put it on hybrid. It does take a lot to get used to. Plunging underwater, I've got mine set to 3. Parachute automatic behavior turned off. I like to land as low as possible. Sometimes I break my legs. Yes, we all break our legs. It is what it is. But I like landing further down instead of having that. I think it's 15 to 20 meter drop off where you have your auto parachute deploy set to on. You're in limbo for that distance type of thing. You can't cut it or anything, which obviously gives you enemy easy kills, in my opinion. Sprinting door bash, I have that turned on. Ledge climb behavior, mantle only, is what I've got mine set to. Some people have it movement based, which again, everyone's settings is totally different. But these are just my settings, obviously. Aim down sight behavior, I've one to hold. Again, I do play with 1 or 2 players that have theirs set to toggle, which it throws me off even just spectating them. Change zoom activation, I've got mine set to sprint, tactical sprint, and focus. Some people have it set to melee, which again, it's up to them. These are just my settings. Focus behavior set is locked to hold. Equipment behavior hold. Weapon mount activation, ADS and melee. Weapon mount exit delay, I've got mine set to instant. I want to get straight off that wall. But if I'm mounted onto a wall, holding corners, and someone's just dived, like let's say shot C for instance in multiplayer, just dives across, I want to get off that wall instantly and try and trace them through the wall. Not literally trace them through the wall, but obviously aim. If there's a door to your left, you know they're going to go straight through that door and come out that one. You know how to like move straight off the wall. Tactical stance activation, I have mine set to ADS and down button. I normally turn this off unless like there's camo challenges and stuff. Personally, I'm not a big fan of tactical stance. I hate it. It shouldn't even be in the game, in my opinion. Tactical stance behavior, I've got mine set to on toggle. Interact and reload behavior, I've got prioritize interact. Some people have it set to prioritize reload. Again, I flip between the both. It depends on what mode I'm playing. If I'm playing Rebirth or if I'm playing Big Map. And that sounds weird, but obviously sometimes like on Rebirth, I don't want to be reloading when my gun's like I've took 1 bullet out of the chamber type of thing because I've only shot 1 bullet. I don't want to be reloading straight away. But again, that's just me. Armor plate, I have applied all. ADS stick swap, I have turned off. Backpack control, I've got mine set to D-pad. ADS interruption behavior, obviously it's locked to interrupted. Depleted ammo weapon switch, I have mine turned off. Just because I don't want to be mid gunfight and it automatically switches and it throws me off type of thing. The average stroke decent player will know because I keep checking the ammo when they're in gunfights or before they get into a gunfight how much ammo they've got. So I know I need to reload. 9 times out of 10, if you're in a gunfight anyway and you're bursting through a mag, you shouldn't be reloading, you should be swapping to your secondary anyway, in my opinion. Quick C4 detonation, I've got mine set to 1 by 1. Manual fire behavior, I've got press, obviously. Akimbo behavior. Now, this is what quite a few people don't actually realize, especially the players that don't really watch the big named creators or players or self-proclaimed pros. Akimbo behavior, I've got mine set to paired. If you've got it set to independent, if you've got akimbos, especially with the shotguns at the moment being akimbo, if you've got it set to independent, you pull the left trigger, it fires the left gun, the right trigger, it fires the right gun. If you have it to paired, you can just literally pull either trigger and it will shoot both at the same time. That will turn it into the equivalent of an automatic because you can go left, right, left, right, left, right really quick. So it's like a trigger finger, if you like. Vehicle behavior, I've got mine set to off. The vehicle camera recenter, I've got mine set to off. The camera initial position, I've got free look because I want to be looking around if I'm in a vehicle. It's very rare I'm in a vehicle because me personally, I think being in a vehicle, even if your team is driving, you're just a passenger, giving your location away by the sound and stuff. We'll get to the audio in a second. Lean out activation, I've got mine set to melee. Ping wheel delay, I've got mine to moderate. Double tap danger ping, got mine to moderate. Wheels behavior, got mine to hold. And then we go to graphics, because obviously I do controller, I don't do mouse and keyboard. So I do apologize if you mouse and keyboard. This is literally like for console, and I don't really know that many people on console that do mouse and keyboard. Graphics, these are something that I would definitely say you need to play around with personally. On-demand texture streaming, I have that turned off. Now I've had it turned on. I've played around with different settings on it. Just turn it off. I'm not going to go into it. Just turn it off. World motion blur off, obviously. Any motion blur you want turned off. So weapon motion blur turned off. Film grain, have it turned down. Especially if you stream on console as well. You want the on-demand texture streaming off and the film grain turned all the way off if you stream it off console. Depth of field off. The fidelity FX cache turn on, and then the strength up to 90. I've played with this all the way down to 60. So me personally, I'd say between 60 and 90. Again, it all depends if you stream off your console. If you do, it's something you're gonna have to play around with so you're happy. I'd say 90 is the sweet spot personally. Eco mode preset, I have mine turned off. And yes, it does cost a bit more on the electricity bill and stuff like that, but it costs about 10 pence or 50 cents or whatever, having it turned off per month. It's not a night or day difference type of thing. 120 hertz refresh rate, I got mine turned on, just because why not? Field of view, I play around with mine. I have 115 for multiplayer when I'm doing multiplayer ranked, but I have it set to 119 for rebirth and for big map. There was an issue with having it set to 120 FOV for console users, like you'd lose aim assist, like aim assist wouldn't kick in or anything if it's set to 120. Some people still say that is the issue, but again, I'm used to running 119, not 120. But I do see some people, especially PC players, run theirs at 120. But again, PC is slightly different to console. Third person field of view, I have mine set to 90, but I don't do third person modes. So if Raven software actually implement a week's playlist or whatever and everything is third person, I'll just go and play a different game because I hate third person. First person camera movement, you want that set to least 50%. Third person camera movement, again, least. Inverted flashbang, I have mine set to on. So instead of me being flashed and the whole screen goes white, it actually goes black. So just like burst your eyes and stuff with the brightness. I know on PC, some PC players have theirs turned off because when their screen used to go black, they used to think that they were getting kicked from the game, like a dev error and stuff. But me personally, I have mine turned on. Third person ADS transition, again, third person ADS. Don't really do third person stuff, so it is what it is. Spectator camera, I have it to game perspective. I hate the helmet cam where the camera's to the side of the person. I like to see what the person's actually shooting at if I'm spectating them. I don't like that offset of the camera. Display, I have mine set to 55. I advise anybody to have theirs set to 55 as well. I know it says barely visible for the middle, but you want to bump it up a little bit. Safe area, again, quite a few people don't understand or don't know this. I have my safe area pulled all the way in. Hello, sorry, I just hit the mic. All the way in and all the way down, like as far as possible. The reason being on that, it also brings your mini map in, so it's closer, so you don't have to look. Like if you're looking at your screen, you don't have to look over to look at your mini map. It's literally closer, so you don't have to look further. Again, quite a few people don't understand that. What else is there? We've gone through everything on there. Audio, actually no, we'll go to interface first before the audio. Subtitles, I have mine turned off. Subtitle size default. Subtitles background opacity 0. Menu text size default. Text size, that's a mouthful, set to default. Language selection English. Color customization, now I have my HUD color palette set to default. I know quite a few people have their set to all different ones. To be totally honest, I have mine set to default just because I like playing around with certain things, which we'll get into in a minute. Obviously, I've changed all these. So for me, the stock color is like really dull yellow, so I just brighten them up a little bit. I've done it for all of them, just make them a little bit brighter so they stand out more. Color filter, you want filter 2, and then you want it set to both, and then have both of these set to 100. That'll improve the color of your game. I do actually have a filter on top of my game for streaming purposes. I'm recording clips already set in OBS, which I'll show that in a second. Or if Sam, if you can put a clip in. Minimap shape I have set to square. You see more with it set to square than you do when it's set to round. Minimap rotation turned on. Horizontal compass on. Crosshairs, I have mine set to static. Some people just have it turned on. Quite a few have it turned off. I have mine set to static. I literally have the crosshair dot turned on, and the center dot scale I have it set to default. Obviously you can have the center dot smaller or bigger. I have mine set to default. Hit marker visuals, I have it turned on, obviously. Damage based hit markers, I have it turned on. Player's name, I have it set to full. In-game text chat turned on. Vehicle HUD prompts, I have it faded after 10 seconds. Stamina bar, obviously you want that turned on. Telemetry, I have server latency turned on, packet loss turned on, clock turned on, connection meter turned off. The only reason why I have clock turned on is because if you're doing like the late night grind, for instance, and people in chat are like, oh, what time is it? They can just see it on your screen what time it is. Obviously it's good interaction, but they can already see the time anyway. Game tips I have turned off. Tool tips again turned off. Menu prompts I have it set to automatic. Now going into audio, I have mine an audio mix set to TV, which a few people say soundbar and headphones and home theater. I've played around with different audio settings. I've even asked the audio god himself, Artist War. He's really good at doing the audio tunes for PC and stuff, and obviously he does Q&As. So I've bounced a few things off him. Really good dude. I'll link him in the description as well. But obviously console user, I use TV. Speaker output test. I'll be honest, I've never touched that section. Master game volume, have it set to 100. But then obviously if you show more, I have the gameplay music volume off. I don't have the music on. There's no need to have your music on. Dialogue volume, I have it set to 40. Again, I fluctuate between that, between 30 and 40. It depends on what I'm using, like headphone wise. Either I'm using the IEMs or I'm using the Astro A40s. It depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm soloing, then I use my IEMs. But if I'm squadding or we're doing ranked and game chat and stuff, obviously being console, I use the Astro A40s. Dialogue volume set to 40. Effect volume, I have it set to 100. Cinematic volume, I have it again turned off. Warzone track music turned off. Voice chat, I have set to 20, so like people are not blaring. It's just makes me focus more. Voice chat obviously turned on. Game volume channel, all lobbies. Last word, voice chat on. Proximity chat turned on. Just because, again, with how I've got my Xbox set up, obviously this is for Xbox. There's a few settings on PlayStation that you can do, but I haven't got my hands on the PlayStation at the moment. I should have thought about that, because then I could flick to both and do PlayStation at the same time. But the way I have my audio set up is I have game chat coming through, but I can also have like Discord and stuff, so I can hear people in game chat. And I know a few people have that turned off because they don't like the cross over between the game chat or proximity chat as well as like Discord or Xbox Party. But it does help me in a way of I can relay back to my team. There's someone pushing left, then they've just said, oh, there's 2 people, for example, there's 2 people just pushed into showers on Rebirth. I can turn around and relay that info saying that they're coming into the showers type of thing. I can also relay to my teammates what they're thinking, like what the enemy's thinking, because obviously they're live mic'd and stuff. Now I can mute up in game and still hear, so that's a bonus. Voice chat output device, again set to headset. Open mic sensitivity, I have mine set to 20. Mute yourself when connecting to channel, turned off. Microphone level 100. Test microphone, obviously you want to test it. I know Readboy, again, console demon on PlayStation, he has some funky settings on his microphone to put the opposition off, like the enemies off, especially in Gulag. He did it in one of the tournaments the other week.
Down.
Bro.
There's a bomb down on there.
Bro, this kid's such a dick rider, bro. He's literally
By PC, but you know, consoles are not that far behind PC when you look at the price. Like a £500, obviously being English, £500 Xbox is like the price of some of your graphic cards, and it does a whole lot. So it's one of them. It's a trade-off type of thing. Subtitles I've turned off. Subtitle size default. Subtitle background 0. Mono audio turned off. Tinnitus sound I have that turned on. War tracks as a passenger turned off. Juggernaut music turned off. Hit marker sound effects I have it set to Modern Warfare. But that is basically my settings. Literally that is all my settings. I can quickly actually show you if I go to let's just go to operator. So obviously I run a filter. My stuff, I did say this earlier in the video, I run a filter for OBS. So if I go into here and just turn my filter off, you'll see what the actual game looks like. It's like grey and dingy. To me, it's not that good. So again, Art is War. There's filters that you can download and stuff, especially if you use OBS and stuff like for streaming. There's filters. I've used a few Art's filters, played around with filters myself. Iceman Isaac as well, he has some filters. Play with his filters, or LUTs if you like. But as you can see, with the filter turned off it looks dingy and grey. With the filter turned on it looks better. With it turned on, I've then matched as close as possible my monitor setting, color settings to the filter, so it's very similar. It's not exact obviously, but it's very similar. It's not as grey as dingy as what I'm looking at. But I think with the current state of Call of Duty, with Raven Software and everybody behind the helms of Call of Duty, they need to play around with the audio settings and the visual settings, because the game just look disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. Talk about audio settings. If I go to I'm doing this all live time so you can see it. Dolby, my audio. This is, again, someone asked, how do you hear everything so clearly, like footsteps, boxes from like the buildings and stuff. I haven't got the option for Art is War tune, just because, again, console and stuff. So I've played around. I'll take the camera off so you can see it, especially if you've got if you've got Dolby Atmos, which I think is the best audio tune that you can get. Obviously, it goes through my Astro mix amp as well, which I used to play on, play with certain settings on the Astro mix amp. But obviously, I'll turn that back to natural. But yeah, this is what I've been using Dolby wise, and I can hear a lot better. I'm not going to say I can hear just as good as PC players, because you can't, especially with Art's tune. It's crazy. His tune is crazy, but I don't agree with his tune personally. I don't agree with it. It's the same with certain controllers. I don't agree with certain controllers having macro options on them, just because yes, it works on PC, but if it's going to be allowed, especially in comp Call of Duty, it should be accessible from console users, PC users. Should be set to everybody. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, those are all my settings. Hopefully it might help one of you or two of you or no one, whatever, but hopefully it does help. But yeah, to round things off, those were my game settings, my audio settings. Obviously there's a few hidden secrets in there, especially like with the left stick settings and stuff. Those are my settings. That's how I run my stuff. As I said, I'm not the world's best player. I'm by far the world's best. But if you want my honest opinion, and I know people say we shouldn't be doing this because it's supposed to be your content. If you want my honest opinion, I would go and watch your favorite streamer and see how they play the game. Like your Joe Woes, for instance, self-proclaimed movement king. I watch Joe every now and again, type of thing. But I've learnt more personally from the likes of Smixy, especially when it comes to Warzone, like Caldera. I was watching Smixy religiously, and she explains stuff. Recently, Swish'em, got nothing but love for the Swish fam. But if you're doing multiplayer ranked and stuff, or just multiplayer, I would suggest watching someone like Brittany Reigns. Yes, I am shouting out the females because these females are more down to earth than quite a few others. I know people say, well, what about said person? They've won so much. For me personally, I don't care who's won how much money in Call of Duty. It's their personality and who actually gives back to the community. Like Swish, for instance, a lot of love for Swish. Smix, a lot of love for Smix as well. Same with Brittany. Erisita as well. Erisita's another console female demon, good player in her own right. But yeah, that's me. I'm done yapping now. You've seen my settings, how I got things set up. Obviously, you know I got the filter set on OBS and stuff. But yeah, hopefully this helps a few people that are on console that are struggling with like aim assist and aiming and centering and just tweaking certain things. The one thing I will say is don't copy exactly all my settings or someone else's settings. You have to play with certain things yourself. Like I have mine set to 7.7. Some people prefer 5.5 or 4.4. Some people prefer 10.10. I know there's a few people that play 20.20, which is just crazy. I don't get it, but I would advise people to just play around with certain settings, especially the audio settings. If you got access to Dolby Atmos, I mean, it's a one-time payment. So personally, I would recommend, if you're gonna play Call of Duty on console, Dolby Atmos is something that I would highly recommend you getting. But yeah, I've been TBD. Hopefully this helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, let me know. Either way, let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree, or if you have any questions of not understanding certain things, and I'll get back to you. I might make another video if there's enough people that don't understand certain things, and I'll make another video. But yeah, I've been TBD. Until the next one, take it easy. Look after yourself. Love yourself. That's the main thing in life. Love yourself and love the people around you, especially family.